Now let's try a sales application. A theater charges $8 for main floor seats and $5 for balcony seats. If all the seats are sold, the ticket income is $4,200. But at one show, 25% of the main floor seats and 40% of the balcony seats were sold, and the ticket income was $1,200. How many seats are there on the main floor, and how many are there in the balcony? So let's start by defining the variables in this problem. Since the question asks for the seats on the main floor and the seats on the balcony, let's let M be the number of seats on the main floor and B be the number of seats in the balcony. And let's summarize all the information in the problem so it's not in that kind of dense paragraph form. So we have main floor seats cost $8, balcony seats cost $5, total sales from all seats is $4,200, and total sales from partial seats is $1,200. So let's take a look at that one piece of information about the total sales. The total sales from all seats is $4,200. So that gives me the equals $4,200. Now what I need to do is figure out what are the sales from each type of seat. So I have one term here, 8M, which means if there are M seats at $8 a piece, the sales from those seats will be 8 times N. If we have B balcony seats, and those are each $5 a piece, 5B will tell me what the sales from the balcony seats are. Let's take a look at the partial seats. The total sales from the partial seats is $1,200. So that gives me the equals $1,200. Now, we know that we have M seats, but only 25% of them were sold. So that's a number of seats times $8 per seat. That'll tell me the sales from 25% of the main floor seats. If 40% of the balcony are sold, 0.40 times B, that gives me 40% of the seats. At $5 a seat, that term will give me the total sales from 40% of the balcony seats. And we can simplify that to 2M plus 2B equals 1,200. And so now I have this system that I'm going to need to solve. So my system is 2M plus 2B equals 1,200, 8M plus 5B equals 4,200. If we follow our echelon method, we need to first start and get a 1 in front of the M. We can't interchange these two, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply that entire first equation by 1/2. So 1/2 times E1, put that in place of E1. So when I take 1/2 times that entire equation, I get M plus B equals 600. And now I'll put that in place of the first equation. Now we need to use that equation to eliminate M in the second equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the first equation by -8 and add it to the second equation and put that in place of the second equation. So -8 times E1 plus E2, and we'll put that in place of E2. So -8 times equation 1 becomes -8M minus 8B equals -4,800. If we add that to the second equation, which is 8M plus 5B equals 4,200, we see that the M's drop out and we're left with -3B equals -600. So I put that in place of the second equation. Now we need to make that coefficient in front of the B in the second equation equal to 1. So we'll do that by taking -1/3 times the second equation and putting that in place of the second equation. That gives us B equals 200. And we put it in place of the third equation. Now we back substitute the B equals 200 into the first equation, and that gives us M plus 200 equals 600. If we subtract 200 from both sides, we get M equals 400. So the solution to the system of equations is that there are 400 main floor and 200 balcony